Welcome back, my friends. Thank you for standing by. We're about ready for Battletoads. I'm gonna have a piece of apple here real quick. We'll make maybe 2 or 3 runs at this tonight. Let's see if I have any chance of ever seeing what's on the other side of stage 11. I love the NES controller. Going back to it after the Genesis controller, I like the Genesis controller. Might be a better controller and it might be more comfortable, but I like the NES controller more. I don't care if it's less comfortable. My spicy prowess is definitely gone nowadays. This hot banana pepper had a little more zing than I was prepared for, Zergling says. I'm thinking about buying the NES and SNES controllers for the Switch, Zelda Dude says. So I actually have both of them. The SNES controller is really good. The NES controller, your mileage may vary, but I don't like the NES controllers for the Switch. Something about them, it feels like they have a lot of input lag. I don't know why. I don't know why they would have more input lag than other controllers for the Switch, but mine they really seem to. And I don't really feel I don't feel it with the SNES controller, but I do with the NES one. So I would just say be careful. Maybe ask around, because I might just have a bad set or something, or I might just be out of my mind. But sadly, I regret the NES controllers for the Switch because I don't like mine very much. The SNES controller is great, though. I use it I use it whenever I can, basically. Anytime I'm playing, anytime I'm playing a game with inputs that are simple enough for it, I love to use it. Like when we did Cuphead, I used the SNES controller for Cuphead. Yeah, the Nintendo 64 controller, Nintendo made like one batch and never restocked them. And I don't think they ever planned to. That's why I never got the expansion pack for the Switch Online, because I don't really want to play N64 games if I can't have an N64 controller to play them with. And I'd be happy to buy one, but Nintendo didn't want to make enough, so too bad for me. 3 1-ups. That is unprecedented success. That is the best bird juggling I've ever done. This is already a historic night. And I lost a life. It's alright, I can afford to lose them. The thing is, that's kind of true, that I can just afford to lose lives, because the part that I'm stuck at all has to be done in 1 life anyway, so... It really doesn't matter if I show up with 1 life or 100. Cool. So, as you can see, I'm just going to throw them all away now. What's my progress on level 11? None, Zergling. I have nothing to report. You've seen my best run at level 11. I've never even come close to it. I've tried several more times. Nothing good ever happens, so... Until I just sort of magically have a breakthrough, our story is going to be sadly very much the same again and again and again, I think. Seems the game is a little quiet. A red bell pepper will a red bell pepper be too spicy for you? You would think they'd make a ton of controllers to support their service. Nintendo, they've been like that with everything that they make for quite a while now, where they just make a very small batch of everything. Like, that's why the amiibos were, like, so many amiibos were so rough to get, because, like, so many super popular characters, they made, like, you know, just a batch of, like, 4 of them. And it was just like, just let everyone fight over them. Don't do stuff like that. I'm really glad I didn't go over the edge there. Isn't there a third-party alternative for N64 controllers? I mean, we're talking about the ones for the Switch. I don't know if someone else is making N64 controllers for the Switch, but maybe. I've had, I don't know. I've never had very much success with third-party controllers. I've heard that there do exist some that are supposed to be good, but I don't think I've ever actually owned a good third-party controller. Myself. Bad tunnel. 2 deaths in the tunnel? Even if I do the rest perfectly, I'm gonna feel bad about it. Fourth party controllers. We're doomed. We're doomed. I'm off to such a terrible start. Never know, could have a real breakthrough after the worst run this side of the Mississippi. I could. Things could always turn around. I'm not really giving up hope. I just feel, you know, I still just feel sad to do bad at a part that I have done good at in the past. It's a little deflating. I don't know why I left that skeleton. I don't know why I left that snowman standing down there. Hey, welcome in Enigma Wave. Thank you for the raid. Pleasure to have you here. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Thank you for bringing your friends along. Welcome in, Sots. Good to see you again. What were you up to, Enigma? What were you playing and how did your stream go? That, typing in the chat there is a little bit concerning. Like my... As I typed that, the letters were appearing really slowly. My laptop might be having a few problems. Very thorough and air out before the shout out. Yeah. I'm not the most excellent typist. Continuing with Nappletail on Dreamcast, making good progress. Right on. I can certainly respect progress. I actually don't think I know that game. The Dreamcast library is almost entirely a mystery to me. I've had very little exposure to it. Oh, yuck. If you're just coming in, Battletoads here. I'm on a quest to beat Battletoads for the first time. I've been playing it a couple nights a week for about 2 months. So you'll see... Well, actually you won't see. I was gonna say you'll see I'm pretty good at, like, the first 10 stages, and then I just completely fall apart on stage 11. But I'm actually having a really bad run right now. I'm dying in a whole lot of places where I don't normally die. But, you know, I'm not gonna let the game intimidate me. It's not gonna scare me away from trying. Even a bad run, we're gonna stick with and see as far as we can. There's always the chance it'll turn around. And actually, the part that I'm stuck at is like a level that you have to do like perfectly in one life anyway. I don't think there are any checkpoints, so really, it doesn't really matter if I show up with 1 life or 100. I was just saying, because I got to get through the level I'm stuck on in 1 life anyway. So all I need is 1. Only released in Japan, but thanks to modern technology, we've got a fan translation. Wonderful. Hey, Greg, welcome in. Great to have you here. Greg's Retro Channel. Hope you're having a fine day. And Master Tuesday, same to you. Happy Tuesday, my friend. Thank you for the wheel. We'll give it a spin. The Wheel of Scorchin, my friends, is a little wheel here. It's got 6 I think 6 different spicy foods listed on it. And I'm going to give it a spin and take a generous sample of whatever it lands on. If you want a list of what's on the wheel, you can use the command wheel in the chat. And let's just see what we get. The black truffle sauce. Oh boy. So this one isn't really spicy. It's just something that I don't really like. There we are. It's a Melinda's brand hot sauce. It's a black truffle hot sauce. It's not super hot. The truffle flavor is something that I am not used to. It tastes like old leather to me. But I'm gonna put a generous amount on this cracker here, and we'll just, endure it. It's rather thick, this sauce. Maybe I should give it a shake. Just in time for the Wheel of Scorchin'. Welcome in stream, Kyle. So we played Contra Hardcore earlier tonight, and I made it to stage 5, I think. It's a little bit difficult to tell where stages end and begin in that game. But I made it to something new on our last run. Not a whole lot of progress, but boy, the boss to get to the stage that we made it to, I learned a lot about. I don't know. I don't know that this flavor is ever going to grow on me. It's kind of bitter. Ugh. It's a shame, because I like this brand of hot sauces. I was excited to try something new with this truffle sauce, and I regret it. I regret trying something new. I can imagine, based on your description, I don't think it's I don't think that's a flavor I'm actually familiar with. Is it natural ingredients or artificial flavoring? Good question. Let me take a look. Made with whole, fresh ingredients. One of the best peppers on the planet. Food pairing suggestions. Whatever you're eating right now. It has actual truffles and natural truffle flavors. So I don't know. I think it's got both. I think it's got both natural ingredients and artificial flavors. It says natural flavors, but I think they're artificial. I don't believe the labels. Yeah, also contains natural flavors. Exactly. the quote-unquote natural flavors. This guy's on to me tonight. Everything I do, I'm doing badly. Look at him. He's like, he knows. He knows I'm going to trap him against the wall and cheese him, and he's determined to not let it happen. I'm determined to not let it happen by playing like a fool. Oh my goodness. There we go. This is all I wanted. Organic gummy bears with all natural flavors. I'm not sure where the distinction in, like, calling something natural even lies. I mean, in a very technical sense, doesn't everything come from nature? I guess unless you have an item made with supernatural flavors. I think everything else I think everything else, technically, no matter how processed, is ultimately a natural product, right? They love it labeling everything keto lately, too. Or keto-friendly. Right? They have for like items that actually don't meet the qualifications of keto, but if you eat small enough quantities, then technically you could still stay in ketosis, so which, again, I think describes every product at some level. If all you eat is 20 jelly beans a day, I guess you are keto. If you go far enough back in the process, your computer is natural. Well, I mean, it's just like, all right. I mean, like, a computer doesn't exist via natural forces, right? It's made by humans, but then, like, I mean, like, is a beehive natural? And why are the things that bees make natural and the things that humans make are not? Farm fresh silicon chips. uh... If you need to explain it using chemistry terms, it isn't considered natural, Tuesday says. There's, Stream Kyle says, Red, there's no actual rule around. Sorry, I'm screen scrolled. Labeling something natural, you can just call things natural on the packaging. Under that definition, water isn't natural. I like how with diets people go from a cheat meal to a cheat day, which might wipe out the whole week the way some people do it. Maybe I'm on a diet, but it's a cheat decade. Yeah. I don't know what the body's efficiency in converting for storage excess calories is, though, right? Like, I get your point that certainly, like, when people are, like, you know, on a weight loss mission, that they can certainly self-sabotage with overindulging in too many sort of cheat and reward meals and or days. But like, I wonder how possible really the concept of undoing a strict week in one day is. Just because, like, I mean, like, again, like, surely you can eat an entire week's worth of calories in one day if you want to. But what is the body's efficiency in actually storing those excess calories in that short amount of time? It's probably higher than I would think, but... it surely can't be perfectly efficient either, though. And it probably varies from person to person. Based on a whole lot of other factors, too, so... I don't know. Nutrition is such a, like... it's not a very well worked out science. In a lot of ways. There's a lot of research and study to be done yet. Dihydrogen monoxide is definitely artificial, Tuesday says. That stuff's bad for you, you know. It corrodes metals, and literally everyone to have consumed it has died. Hey, UV, welcome in. Thank you for dropping in and joining us. Pleasure to have you here. Welcome to some Battletoads. I gotta tell you, I'm on a not a super great run at the moment. When did I follow? Not that long ago. I believe that you followed the stream after we raided someone else. I think that you followed via shoutout. So, you know, hopefully you enjoy what we have going on here. I'm no expert, mostly just setting up for the cheat decade joke. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think he got rated by Nato Fett. Oh, I do like Nato. He's got a great stream. That is most certainly where we've crossed paths before. Case solved. It hurts. It hurts to fly into a fireball. I feel my toad's pain. Whoa. All right. It looks like you're streaming from a shed, I can tell from the wooden walls. Yeah, so this the wood paneling in here is actually salvaged from an old barn. I quite like it. It's got a nice aesthetic to it. I'll go for the big camera for a moment. I've got my setup has changed a lot um, in the past couple years that I've been streaming. Originally, I was in a different room with just I nailed a black bed sheet to the ceiling just as a curtain to drape behind me. And then at some point I moved down here into the basement, into this room, and I've shifted things around here a lot. I used to have a shelf of games behind me, but I've got that off camera now. The couch was the smartest thing I ever did. Bringing the couch down here so I could be comfortable has been a real life changer for me. I'm almost in I've almost got things perfect now. Hey Jesse Thompson, welcome in Jesse. Thank you for the resub. Thank you very much for the support for the 10 months in fact. I want to do my usual joke of that's almost a year, but that number really is almost a year. How you, Frownie? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. I've been having a good day. Yeah, Pokemon and hot sauce. These Pokemon plushes I'm rather fond of. They're corduroy material, and something about that, I don't know, just their simple design, the humble corduroy fabric. It's very nostalgic to me. I really like them. And we've got a wheel of hot sauce. If you hang around long enough, you'll surely see that spun. All right, let me get the game back up. You may even be able to cash in the channel points to do it yourself. Excited for the year sub. I'm very grateful to have had your company and your support for so long, Jesse. But yeah, I've been having a good day. I got a lot of stuff done around the house. I got a lot of like little behind the scenes stuff taken care of at Frownie HQ. I was saying before I finally updated the panels on the about page for the stream for like the first time since I wrote them. But I was excited to do that because I added one because I learned how to do hyperlinked text, and I added a panel that lists out all the challenge runs we've done on the stream with links to the archive forum. And so it's I'm excited now to add more things to that list. So I'm gonna have to beat Battletoads. I'm gonna have to beat Battletoads so I can finally go ahead and start getting good at it, and maybe, you know, put a Battletoads challenge run on that list. We'll see. Is that Charizard childhood plush? I don't have a Charizard. They're just the starters. But none of them are from my childhood. I did play Pokemon Blue when I was a kid. Oddly enough, like, I really loved Pokemon Blue. I don't think I bought a piece of Pokemon merchandise until I was an adult. I don't think like, as much as I loved Pokemon Blue, I don't recall buying any Pokemon like toys or stuffed animals or anything, except a book. I bought a Pokemon book, but I actually bought that before I even knew what a Pokemon was. It's just like it was just a little book that like listed the like what all the Pokemon were and told you like a factoid about them. I guess it was essentially like a printed Pokedex. And I think its information was probably more true to the anime than it was to the game. Fancy. Oh, I misunderstood. Charmander grows into Charizard, so Charmander is a childhood Charizard. Alright, I can't argue with that. I'm pretty much a Gen 1 guy through and through though with Pokemon. I loved Pokemon Blue, but I never really got into any of the other ones in the same way. I did play through I would say I never really played Pokemon Gold. I got Pokemon Gold after Blue, and I did technically play through the game, but all I did was transfer over my team from Blue and just steamroll the game. So I didn't really play it. And aside from Pokemon Arceus, I've never seen another Pokemon game really all the way through. Well, I played through Blue and Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Snap on the N64, and Pokemon Arceus. I played all the way through 3 Pokemon games, and I've dabbled in a few others, but I kind of feel at this point that I don't really think that another Pokemon is ever really going to capture me the same way that Gen 1 did. Knock knock. Dare I ask who's there? All this Pokemon talk is alien to me. I only ever played Yellow, and even that was over 2 decades ago. Justin? Justin who? Just in time for dinner. I legitimately did not see that coming. He splurged by going on eBay and buying a binder full of every series of Garbage Pail Kids. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing. I mean, I don't really have any particular love for the Garbage Pail Kids, but in general, like that's the kind of thing that I would be likely to splurge my money on. something something weird and collectible and nostalgic from my childhood. Apparently, he initially wasn't going to because it was hundreds of dollars and he's cheap. Oh. What's a climber's favorite drink? Anything served on the rocks? Mountain Dew? I tried. The executives weren't super impressed by the card, Stream Kyle says. Well, I'm impressed. I'm more impressed by Bizarre. I've never been much of like a gearhead, so I'm much more impressed by a complete set of some arbitrary collectible than I am by a fancy car. Cars, I've always been very Spartan in my approach to cars. Like all I want out of a car is something that's low maintenance and reliable. It can be ugly and terrible and uncomfortable, and as long as it isn't going to break down and cost me a fortune, everything else I don't care about. If I'm here, there's something cracking and that's jokes. Hey, I've got no problem with that. If you, if you click onto the stream early enough when we're starting up for the night, you're frequently treated to a joke as a reward. I'm sure all of my regulars would object to me referring to my jokes as a reward. We're fans of bad jokes around here, though. We're fans of puns. When does a joke become a dad joke? I don't know. When does it? Oh. That's a little sad. How's Battletoads going? As for me, I'm slowly making progress in the Metroid Prime remaster. I hope you're enjoying, hope you're at least enjoying the slow process, Greg. Demolished. Alright, I need to hang in there. And Battletoads, sorry to answer your question about Battletoads, it's kind of just been the same thing every time for a long while now. I'm still stuck at the same stage, so there's really nothing to report. We're still hoping to beat Klingerwinger. Until that happens, I gotta just keep letting everyone down. You have to be a fan of puns to enjoy modern Dragon Quest games? I didn't know that. That's a pretty good selling point right there, Greg. I might have to look into one. That's the best part of Brave Fencer Musashi. That's the thing I like best about that game is it's got some pretty great puns in it. Can relate, UV says. Oh no. I used the PlayStation 3. Gonna go to my friend's house. He has a PS4. Right on. I used to have both of those. I had a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4 myself once upon a time, but unfortunately a few years ago my home was burglarized, and those were two of the things that they took that I've never replaced. So I've got a handful of PS3 and PS4 games that just kind of sit around collecting dust since I don't have a way to play them. Loving the game and wondering why I didn't like it earlier, Greg says. Probably the first-person view took a while to get used to. Yeah, and I gotta say, I think I'm not really much of a fan of first-person view games myself. Overall, like, I mean, I'll play them and they're okay. You know, like I've played a bit of like Skyrim. We've even done a few first-person games on the stream, right? Doom 64, Shadowgate. And, like, it's fine, but in general, it seems like the games that I like the most always tend to be third-person. Give me all. I think I'm gonna hang on to them. The plan is to someday be able to play them. So I'm sorry, I'll have to let you down there. Same for me, classic third-person view, be it 2D or 3D. Greg says, "Yeah, it's generally my favorite as well." Hey, we have a raid coming in. Wonderful. Welcome in, Pally. Great to see you again. I hope you've been doing well. I hope you and the family are all well. Welcome in, Desi Spark. Good to see you again. Happy, what day is it? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday to you. Unbintara, good to see you. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Thank you for coming in. Tell us about your stream, Pally. I saw before when I was going live, your title, you said something about beads and Metroid Prime, I think. But you're playing the older Prime, right? By beads, did you mean perler beads? Like melty beads for making crafts? I mean, some sort of crafts. I couldn't actually stop in, unfortunately. But I'd love to hear what you're up to and how your stream went for you. Hey, John Nash, good to see you again. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for joining us. We're playing some Battletoads. I've been trying to beat this game for the first time. I've been playing it a couple nights a week for about 2 months now. I like to say I'm pretty good at most of the game that I've played so far. I'm just kind of stuck at one of the later levels. So until I get over that roadblock, things are pretty ugly. And I say I'd like to say that because while it's usually true, the particular run I'm on right now has been going kind of rough. Been making a lot of errors. Doing good, thank you. Baby man is 6 months old now. Time flies. 6 months. And teething, so that's been fun. But he's a cutie. Right on, right on. I crafted for the first part of the stream, and yes, it was perler beads. Fantastic. I'm making a prize for a competition we had. And then we played Metroid Prime, but I didn't get to beat it tonight. All in good time. I'm sure you're going to get there. This sounds like a tough game. Battletoads is brutal. I've heard that it's a strong contender for most difficult NES game. I can't say for sure. I've never beat it, and I certainly haven't beaten every NES game. But I'm enjoying it. I like tough games, and we play everything. We're doing it as legit as we can. I'm playing on old hardware with an old TV. There's no save states. There's no rewinds. There's every time when I game over and have to restart, I have to restart from the beginning, and I'm not using any tricks or glitches or warps, or we just go through all the levels every time. So it's a long excuse me. Sorry to cough at you like that. I don't know where that came from. It's a long, painful journey, is what I was saying. Frownie lives for tough games. I can't help myself. I'm drawn to them. Looks like it's very cold where you live. I live in Wisconsin, UV. So it's pretty cold for a good chunk of the year. And tonight isn't much different. I wear a lot of sweatpants and hoodies and beanies to try and keep warm. The older one, of course, playing on the Wii, since the GameCube isn't working well. I'm in the same situation, Pally. I have a lot of trouble with discs reading on my GameCube, so I use the Wii for all my GameCube stuff nowadays too. you can actually, I've heard, I don't know what the problem is with your GameCube, but if it's the problem I think I have with mine, as they get older, the intensity of the laser needs to be adjusted. And there's a potentiometer that you can adjust inside the GameCube to fix that, but you have to be real careful because it's a very delicate thing to mess with. But I watched a couple videos on it, and it looks doable. But I'm also like I'm kind of scared because I'm okay with electronic repairs, but I'm not super good at it. If you want a challenge, Battletoads won't disappoint. You're probably way further than me in Dark Souls. Haven't been wanting to spoil it for me, but how's it treating you? Dark Souls is treating me real well lately. We had several nights. We had several nights recently where like I would beat a boss and then just have no idea where to go or what to do next. And so we've had it several nights where it was just where I just backtracked and wandered the map and just looked for secrets and had no real objective in mind. And those were mildly interesting but somewhat rough nights. But then I came across a part of the map that I'd overlooked before and found a whole new area with another boss recently. And yeah, I mean, I don't, guys, I don't want to be specific because, like you alluded to there, I don't want to spoil things for you. But it's still ongoing. I feel like I've probably got 100 more hours to play in it. But even though I've done so much, I'm having fun with it. I am pretty far along, I think. I think I'm close to where I might even be able to approach the end game, but I don't necessarily want to do that until I feel like I've exhausted all the areas of interest that I've already found. There are at least two things, like two kind of seemingly major things that I want to look into. Possibly a third, but the third one I have no idea even how to investigate, so. There's a very, how is that for an incredibly vague, it's so vague as to almost not be an answer. GameCube games play on Wii? You mean Nintendo actually had a console that was compatible with the previous one? Shock and amazement. It has happened before, Greg. To be fair, Nintendo has had a really good track record for backward compatibility in their handhelds. I think I have the same problem. If you have videos you suggest I might have to ask you for it, I'm willing to try. Oh, with the GameCube. Well, see, I was looking at that several months ago, so I would have to look it up for you to see which one I'd watched. But I was just searching how to adjust the laser in the GameCube on YouTube, and I found a video or two that made it look like something I could potentially pull off as long as I was very careful. Play all the GameCube games on the Wii, controllers and memory cards and everything, yep. It's tough to find the next area. I have my partner helping me with where to go, though. Otherwise, I would be there forever. You see, so that's been my experience. For anyone that doesn't know, I have probably the strictest blind policy of any streamer I know. And I try to do everything without ever doing any research or asking for any assistance or tips or guidance of any kind, and trying to make it through some games with only my own substandard mind to help me is colossally difficult sometimes, and Dark Souls has been a major challenge. But so far, I have always managed to make progress in Dark Souls. There have been several nights where we've had hours of downtime, but I haven't had to break yet. Appreciate the answer regardless. Mine has been treating me better now that I understand how to fight instead of button mashing. I will never understand how to fight, no matter how long I play. And see, that's kind of the thing. I haven't ever I've only once intentionally gone on a level grind in Dark Souls. But I've had several times where I got lost and didn't know what to do and kind of did accidental level grinds just because while I'm walking around exploring, I'm fighting enemies. But there was only one time where I got so stuck by a boss that I was like, unless I power up my character, I'm never going to get past this boss, and I had to go and specifically grind for levels. The rest has all happened naturally just because I've been lost for stretches here and there. True, handhelds, just not in the consoles, yeah. Wii U can play Wii games as well, this is true. That only lasted for those 3 consoles, though. Yeah, and I don't really understand why the Wii U can't play GameCube games. That seems kind of, arbitrary to me. I mean, I guess they would have had to put on some extra ports, but... not really. They could have just had it in the software so that, you know, it emulates a memory card to let you save onto the Wii U's hard drive and let you use a classic controller instead of an actual GameCube controller. They could have made it work. No worries on the videos. I can probably find some once I'm ready to mess with it. Yeah, if you do have trouble, then you know just finding something. Send me a whisper, and I'll look through my history and send it to you. I certainly don't mind sharing it with you. I just have to look it up again. That's one thing that I like about your streams. No help is a main rule. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that you enjoy that because I do have to admit I do feel guilty sometimes when I go for very long stretches with no progress. I do feel guilty about putting other people through my madness. So it's always nice. It's always nice when people appreciate my inefficient way of doing things. I just like to, I kind of like to capture the sort of just, that more old-timey experience to games, right? The sort of, the dark ages before the internet when you were just stuck with a game all alone and You know, how do people ever figure these things out? That's what I want to sort of uncover. Or I guess in the case of more modern games, how would you ever figure them out if they had come out a long time ago? This stage right here is brutal. I mean, the whole game is brutal. But, this last part here, this stage is fiendishly difficult, and it has an unfortunately high probability of soft locking. So just a heads up. We may be heading toward that situation. That was a very good start. Very good start. No. I made some pretty serious errors. Oh, we lost. That was a desperado that did not pay off. We're soft locked. See, I just told you the game has a high probability of soft locking. So we're stuck right here right now. What's supposed to happen is that this floor here is supposed to fall away. Yep, the rat just noped right off the screen. That's why the floor won't fall away now. That's why I'm soft locked. The only thing to do now is to reset and throw away all my progress, because there's no time limit in this game. There's no way for me to die, so there's no way to restart and save our progress. It's all trash now. There's, you know, an hour, and there's like an hour and a half of gameplay completely wasted. Retro games are so mean. This is my wooden sword. I use this to press the reset button on my console so I don't have to get up when bad things like this happen to me. I never had a soft lock like this even once when I played this through to victory. Not sure how you are so lucky. I guess I'm just special, Zergling. Oh. I think that's only the third time that's happened to me. Alright. I think I'm recovered. So that was stage 10, where we soft blocked. That was stage number 10, and kind of right before the boss. Well, I mean, not kind of. That was right before the boss. Stage 11 is the part that I need to practice. Stage 11 is the part where I'm currently stuck. So, like, the soft lock is, like, really bad in so many ways, right? Because I don't get to progress, but also I'm so close to the thing I need to practice, and then I don't get any practice. It really hurts me. No, he got me. Speaking of really hurting me. I love that animation. Oh, I was asking about perler beads before, because I make things out of perler beads from time to time. Not that I'm particularly great at it. My wife is much better at doing it. But I love that so, like, perler beads are really good for like, you know, making crafts of sprite art, and I love that that sprite of the Battletoad when he's shocked, when he's surprised and his jaw drops. I love that sprite, and so I've thought if I had a giant grid for perler beads, I'd love to make a perler art of the surprised Battletoad. It's a gigantic sprite, though. I would need I'd probably need several additional, like I don't know what you call them, base plates to be able to fit the design, but it might be worth it because I really like the surprise Toad. It's a good sprite. Jelly and I, we have a lot of classic, you know, 8-bit game characters that we've made perlers of 8 and 16-bit, from Castlevania and Zelda and Mega Man. They're mostly tucked away in storage, though. They used to be on display when we lived in Texas, but I don't think we've taken them out of storage since we've moved up here. We've made some things over the past couple years, but mostly as gifts for other people. In fact, we made a Yoshi for my sister for Christmas just a couple months ago. Yeah, I don't know if you were here a moment ago, Chozo. I soft locked again. I don't know if you were lurking or maybe AFK, so just thought I'd share. My heartache. These enemies here exist on stage 3 and stage 6. 6? No, 7. These rabbit enemies, they're a slightly different color, but they're basically the exact same enemy. But they're on both stages, but when they show up on stage 7, they're so much weaker. Here they take a whole lot of takes a whole lot of work to wear out all their health, and they basically die in one hit on stage 7. So it's like, I don't know, it's very odd to have an enemy appear in a later stage but be easier to fight. Maybe that's just Rare's way of trying to suggest to us that the Battletoad has grown stronger over the course of his journey. You know, even though there's not like a progression system in the game, they wanted to give you that illusion. Or maybe they messed up and they swapped the enemies that were supposed to be on each of these stages. Bummer. I felt like I was doing good. Tonight is not my night. Time for that wooden sword again? Nah, I don't give up like that. I play a bad run through. I'm okay. If I lose more than one life on stage 1, I might reset, but... like you were saying before, it could turn around. I didn't think I was going to make it out of stage 9 on the last run, but we got to 10 and had a decent set of lives. Well, we had 4 or 5 lives. That's not great, but I mean, it's not 1 or 2. Mostly, I just don't want to play that. I just don't want to play stage 2 again. once I make it to this side of stage 2, I'm happy to just accept whatever happens. Could always be the run. It's true, it could turn around. It turned out to soft lock around, but it could. Welcome in, Chompy's Paradise. Good to see you, Chompy. I hope you are well. I was playing Getting Over It, but rage quit, so I'm back. I forgot to say a BRB. No worries. I would say sorry to hear that it made you rage, but I think that's the point of that game, right? Getting Over It is a game that's like made for making people rage, from what I understand. I've never played it, but I hear it's brutal. And you are more than welcome to drift in and out of the stream as you need to. I tried Getting Over It on stream once. I had the insane idea of doing it with my mouse on my head. Did not end well. Arm was in severe pain. Would not recommend it, Zergling says. Uh-oh. Had to go back for that one up. I actually was surprised I could. So I thought that I thought the screen was not going to scroll back. I thought that I would ride that thing back and I would hit the edge of the screen and fall off and die on the spikes. I didn't know the screen could scroll back. I took a real risk. Ooh, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's more like it. Uh-oh. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. I don't like what he did to me. I don't like what I'm doing to me. All my lives in the trash. I still want to know how the man got in the pot in front of a mountain and with a sledgehammer and was like, I should climb that. I missed the one up. No! It's been a while. It's been a while since I've fallen into one of those whirlpools. So I had a job once where there was a sign outside the manager's office, and it was one of those signs that said, like, you know, it has been X number of days since our last workplace accident. Keep up the good job, or something like that. And like, I was on my lunch break one day, and I was just kind of hanging out in the hallway, and I could see the office door, and I could see that sign. And I was looking at it, and the number there said it had been like 4,000 days or something like that. It was a huge number. So it was like, it'd been 4,000 something days since our last accident. Keep up the good work. And I was like, that means like the last accident was like 12 years ago. So that's a long time. And then so I was asking some other employees who'd been there longer than me. I was like, hey, I was just looking at that sign where they count how many days since the last accident. And I just noticed it's been like 12 years. Does anyone work here who knows what that accident was? And well, you see, the thing is, all my coworkers realized that I'm not particularly mentally sharp because that number never changed, because that was a fake sign, and the number was the password for the security pad on the manager's door to open the lock. And it was just written there so that all the employees could come into the office whenever they needed to. And I'd been working there for a while. I'd been there long enough that I should have known that. I don't know what made me think about it. I don't know what made me think about that just now. B Harvey, we'll see you when you return. I see I'm a little behind on the chat. I'm gonna try and catch up when I'm not on an automatically moving level. Oh, goodness. Maybe he bullied the game author IRL and this was his way of punishing him. That, Holi is coming. It's a festival where you use colored powder and water balloons and water guns. It's in India, and I'm Indian. Right on. I don't think I have any experience of that festival. I don't know if I've ever heard or seen anything about it. Welcome back. Oh, the missiles. The icon above you reminds me of Dr. Disrespect. I don't think I know who that is. Sounds like a professional wrestler. I mean, I would guess it's probably another streamer. You sound like a boomer now. I'm okay with that. There was an interesting detail there on the wall that I wanted to point out, but I couldn't because those cannonballs are rolling at me. But I wanted to keep the screen there. But basically, like, I picked up this stick off the wall, and the stick... Well, look, you can see it right there. Never mind. So, like, the stick that I'm holding, it was attached to the wall, and when it was attached to the wall, it looked curved like a handle. And that's why I didn't know it was a stick for a long time when I was first playing this level. For the first few times, but you pulled off the wall and it's just a regular stick like the other level. But when it's on the wall, it looks like a handle, kind of like that purple handle on the left right now that you can see part of. So it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of weird that, like, an item was hidden on the wall, like it was disguised to look like a handle, but then there are also right there's another one that there are also handles that are just decoration, and I mean, I don't really know what to make of them. I don't know why they're there. The design of this place didn't make a lot of sense when you really, like, look at it. Magnum Force, welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Nice Mario hat, thank you. Thank you. I'm a pretty big fan of beanies. I don't have, you know, tons of them, but I have a fairly nice set, and this Mario one is one I'm quite fond of. The best thing about this Mario hat is, like, it's got black and gray stripes, right? They run in, like, concentric circles. And the thing that I like about it is that this hat reminds me of Toad from the Super Mario Brothers movie, the 1993 live-action Mario Brothers movie. Toad in that movie has his hair, like his haircut is cut so that on his head he's got like rings of hair, and this hat, because of the alternating colors, it reminds me of Toad's hair in that movie, and that's such a distinctive feature that, spoiler alert, when Toad gets turned into a Goomba later on in the film, you can tell which one is Toad. I mean, you can tell which one is Toad because he wears a harmonica, like Toad did, because Toad played the harmonica before he got turned into a Goomba, but you can tell which one is Toad even from behind because the top of his head, his scales are like slightly faded in rings so that the pattern is the same as the hair that he had before he got de-evolved. But I like this hat because it reminds me of the movie. I may be the only person on the planet that thinks like that. I say you play Dead Cells. It's a hard and pixelated game. Maybe one day. I do like hard games that are pixelated, so maybe one day I'll make my way to it. I think it's been recommended to me before too. A title, although I haven't ever seen the game myself. I feel like other people in chat have mentioned that to me before as being a game that I should check out. Thanks, I'm good, and you? Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I've had a really good day, and I'm a bit worn out, so that's my excuse tonight. I'm a little bit tired from my busy day. Even if I weren't, I'd still be playing kind of badly, though. We played Contra earlier. I'm working on Contra Hardcore on the Genesis, trying to beat that game for the first time. I did not beat it tonight, but I got further than I've ever been before, so like that's nice. And then also Battletoads here. I've been working on this for a couple months. I've been playing Battletoads a couple nights a week, and I'm trying to beat it for the first time as well. I'm pretty solid all the way up until the Klinger Winger, but on that stage I completely fall apart. So my goal is to learn how to beat the Klinger Winger. This is the second run of the night. It might end up being our last run of the night. I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't know if I got the strength for another one after this, but the first run sadly ended in a soft lock. I was really far along and I got soft locked and had to reset the game, so that was heartbreaking. We're almost back to where we were though. I'm 2 stages out from where we soft locked. Please, boss, please. Chances of references to the old Mario movie and the new Mario movie? There's probably gonna be something. There's probably gonna be something. I mean that plumbing commercial trailer, bringing back the Super Show theme song. Like that's a pretty strong indication that the makers are gonna wanna nod to Mario's past in a lot of ways. So I'm sure there will be, I'm sure there'll be some sort of joke about the old movie. They're probably gonna make some joke where they say it was terrible, or poke fun at it in some way, which is a pretty bold move to do. Pretty bold move to make fun of the greatest movie ever made. Unless you're 100% sure you're going to outdo it, and, I mean, I don't know that that's possible. Dead Cells has no checkpoints? Had your final exams? Finished the math one? It was a breeze? Did the exam in 20 minutes? Right on. I used to be pretty good at math when I was in school a long time ago, but I haven't done any serious math in a very, very long time, and I've lost most of my math skill and knowledge. Greatest movie ever for me would be The Wizard of Oz, Greg says. I am of course exaggerating. I love the Super Mario Brothers movie. I unironically love the 93 Mario Brothers movie. I do think it is great fun and a really good movie. But I mean, I don't even think you can objectively, like, I don't even think that you could really say there is, like, a greatest movie ever made. I mean, I guess by process of elimination, one movie has to be the greatest, but Wizard of Oz is a pretty good choice. Greg, I am a big fan of the Wizard of Oz myself. I would say to anyone, if you really like the Wizard of Oz and you've never seen it on Blu-ray, definitely watch the Wizard of Oz on Blu-ray someday, because it is very weird to watch that movie in such high clarity. Because like one of the things that I notice when I watch it on Blu-ray is like all of the like backdrops are very clearly like they're very noticeable that they're just painted backdrops for all the scenery. And so it gives the movie a weird effect where it kind of looks almost like a high school play. And while, like, in some respects, like, that's a bad thing for your movie, it's also, like, it's very interesting. It makes it very interesting to watch. Thank you for the hydrate, UV. Got a bottle of water handy for such a purpose. Time they gave us was 3 hours, and you only used 20 minutes? Right on. That's pretty quick. Best movie for me has to be the new Puss in Boots. It's perfect. That one I have not gotten around to seeing. I never got into the Mario movie of the 90s myself, Greg says. Sad. Sadness. Maybe someday. Maybe someday you'll give it another chance and it'll click for you. And then you'll know you've become just as crazy as I am. It gets a bad rap. It's a fine movie, and an interesting slash weird interpretation. Yeah, and see, that's the thing that I really think about it is like people really like people call it like a terrible movie, and like it's really pretty standard, right? So far as like '90s movies go. It's not like there's nothing about it that's particularly bad, and like you said, it's a very weird and interesting adaptation, and all of that is a plus in my book. I love, I love the weird interpretation of like the Mario mythos. It's fascinating and actually really well thought out. It was kind of noticeable on VHS. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. It just, I don't know. It just really shocked me when I watched it in high def. Just got finished trying out the new Fist of the North Star game, and I feel great. That's excellent to hear, Zelda Dude. Didn't pass out or anything. Certainly glad to hear that. I'm glad it didn't, I'm glad it didn't overstress you. The exercise game. Yeah, I think you mentioned it before. It's like I think I haven't actually seen it yet myself, but it's part of that like fitness boxing thing. Puss in Boots is perfect to the last Atom movie says. When I said that, I was expecting people nowadays to say, "What's VHS?" Craig says. What's really weird for me is when I started hearing younger people refer to VHS players. It was very weird to hear that term start to be used, because that is not what I would ever call one of those machines. Yeah, yep. I have to hear VHS player instead of VCR. Well, here's the thing: as VHS players, even like it's just a really weird thing to call them, because like the history of the VCR is like the idea of like selling pre-recorded tapes with movies on them was something that came along so late in the VCR's lifespan. Like, because I mean, I don't know. Like the VCR, I think a lot of people don't realize the VCR started as TiVo, and like that's why it's a VCR, is because recording and time shifting TV shows was its whole like focus and selling point. It wasn't until VCRs were around for like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 years that selling pre-recorded tapes began to really be a thing. They're recorders before they're players. How good is this game, would you say? I've never played it. If you like games, so the thing about this game, I would say it's really good, Chompy. Of course, I haven't played the whole game all the way through. You've got to have a taste for high brutality and a bit of jank mixed in there too. Like the game is overall like pretty well put together and fairly polished, but there's a couple like kind of dubious aspects here and there. But I really like it. It's definitely worth playing. Though if you don't really like to struggle and suffer with a game, then don't bother. Half of it is exercise, the other half is battling bad guys. This game is really, really hard, but Frownie has put all of his stat points into persistence and endurance. The Zelda dude is not wrong. You should see my face when I saw DVDs become a thing, and I learned that you didn't have to rewind them anymore. Oh yeah. Wait a moment. Here's the thing. I was just at a thrift shop the other day, and I saw there was a VHS rewinder there, a cassette rewinder for VHS tapes, and that's not uncommon, right? We never owned one. We always just used our VCR to rewind all of our tapes. But I get why people would want to have one. But I saw that, I wasn't really surprised by it. But what I saw next to it was another tape rewinder. It's a dual action tape rewinder. And I was just puzzled by it, because like, I can get why you would want a dedicated machine to rewind your tapes for you back to the beginning. Why would you want a dedicated machine that fast forwards your tapes to the end of the tape without it giving you the ability to watch them? Like, what? For what purpose do you need an automatic tape fast forwarder? It boggles my mind. It's like, are you in a situation where you have to like pretend that you watched a lot of tapes and you need to fool people by having them advanced all the way to the end so you can hold it up and see, it's at the end, I watched the whole thing? Like, that's the only purpose I could think of where you would need to be at the end of all your tapes. It's baffling. Obviously someone's weird idea to sell something. That's all it can be. Because, like, even, like, in a situation where you've got a tape that's in extended play, where you have a lot of things on the same tape, okay, you might want to fast forward through, like, the first 2 movies and watch the third one. A tape fast forwarder does you very little good, because you can't stop it to see where it is in the tape. Like, you have to know the exact location on the spool to be able to stop it in the right point, because you can't watch it to check. It's such a hassle. I sat there scratching my head over it for a long while, and like, that's the only thing I could think is what they were trying to do, is be like, Yeah, you can watch movie number 3. You don't have to sit through the first 2. But it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Whoa. It looks a little loose, like how it moves. The game, I don't know. It's like it's fairly well put together. The really the only part where like the movement bothers me is on stage 5. There's a surfboarding section that feels really awkward. And stage 2, when you're on the descent, I don't really understand how the controls work on stage 2 at all, but I somehow make it through just fine, regardless. I don't know. I would say there's probably a lot of good reason why a lot of people can't really get into Battletoads, but for me, like, its shortcomings don't really add up to enough to make it worth not playing it. It's hard to say, though. It's hard to say. I think the game is definitely worth playing. But you have to, like, look, because, like, some of my favorite games are Ghosts and Goblins and Castlevania 64. So, like, I feel like when I give a recommendation like that, when you put it into the context of the types of games that I love, it's, you could walk away feeling like you've been misled if you go on off my recommendation without thinking about the context of the person who's giving the recommendation. I've never played any of the Lords of Shadow games. I don't know if I would like those very much. I've never played a God of War game, so... And I know those are supposed to basically be God of War clones. Hey, we get to try stage 11. Here's the thing, though. I also have to say, I can only speak about how decent this game is up until stage 11. Because stage 11 is a colossal disaster from which I can't recover. You love Lords of Shadow? It isn't that bad? I might give it a try someday. It's nothing like God of War? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to play them both and see what I think someday. Hey, Jay, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the good luck wishes. I certainly need them. Oh, it's so rough. I wanted to raid, but Twitch hasn't let me raid people in like 2 days now. Oh, no worries, Jay. I mean, I certainly would have, I certainly always appreciate when you send a raid my way. It's very kind of you. But, no worries. Twitch does what it does. I definitely understand. I linked your link in my chat so people can come over if they want to. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jay. That's very kind of you. I'll certainly do likewise, because I can definitely recommend your channel, my friend. If you don't follow Jay, you can correct that situation with the link there, my friends. Our friend Jay has a very cozy and laid back stream, like we have going on over here. Big fan of Paper Mario and Kirby, who we all adore. And very talented. Jay does Paper Mario randomized. I could barely just struggle through the regular game. No worries, Jay. You're very welcome. Rage Shadow Band. The biggest reason people don't get into Battletoads, the turbo tunnel. I feel like I lucked out with the turbo tunnel. That wasn't the worst part of the game for me. It was it took a few tries to get through it, but it wasn't world-endingly difficult. And sorry, I missed a few chat messages, so I'm trying to rewind to at least make sure I read everything as best as I can. That would have been good when I was a kid, since Mom recorded The Wizard of Oz one year during its annual spring airing on TV. But at the end of a tape, having some way to auto fast forward past the first two movies every time could have been nice. But like you said, how would you know exactly where that would be on the tape? Yeah, it would be. I mean, because if you had a big collection of tapes, you're not gonna know where everything is on each tape. Especially if you've used them multiple times. Hey, Long Loves Retro, welcome in. Hope you're doing well tonight. Welcome to Battletoads. Frownie, you're used to a certain level of jank in games. Turbo Tunnel is pretty janky, especially those jumps with no ramps and the hyper speed walls at the end. It's a challenge too great for many people. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, clearly, a lot of people, you know, struggle with it. I mean, I can feel everybody's pain. If you've ever struggled with any part of any game, I can feel your pain right now because, boy, am I struggling. Why is it so hard? How's this run going? So, it's kind of the same way a lot of my runs have been going lately. I can pretty reliably make it up to this stage, but I haven't. I've never beaten this stage yet. It requires a level of perfection that my hands are not designed for. No, Zelda dude, you have to hold the direction that you need to go in the whole time. If you release or switch directions too early or too late, you're penalized either way. You'll start to slow down. The only way to speed up is to never slow down. That's right. No matter how long it takes, I've got to figure it out for myself. So don't anybody go giving me hints or tips or help. Remember the, remember the way the stream operates. This is not a stream about watching someone beat Battletoads. This is a stream about watching someone learn how to beat Battletoads. There's a big difference. You definitely have more patience than I do, Greg says. This part would have me screaming bad language at the game. It certainly makes me want to. Frownie streams are all about the anguish, I guess. I'm certainly feeling anguished. I think we're going to call it a night, my friends. I don't want to, necessarily, like, especially since our first run got stolen by that soft lock. I really don't like going to stage 11 only one time, but I am just wearing thin tonight. I am wearing out of energy. So we're going to need to, I don't think, if I do another run, I don't think I'll get anything meaningful out of it, unfortunately. So I think it might be time to say goodnight and to raid out. Level 11 deflates hopes quite thoroughly. If I had a bit more energy, I would want to give it another shot, but tonight's just not my night. We will come back to it. I will not give up this quest. I will beat Battletoads. It will happen one night. I will master the trick of stage 11, and someday we will look back and we will laugh at how much trouble this game gave me. Sadly, that day just seems very far away. Take it easy, bud. Thank you, Zelda dude. See you tomorrow. I need to get some sleep soon anyway, Greg says. I'll see you again, Greg. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your company, of course. It's very good of so many of you to join me and to keep me company. And I certainly appreciate your patience as I work my way to victories in these games. So we might do a run of this on Friday. I haven't put anything on the schedule yet for Friday. I'm leaning toward doing Atari 2600 games on Friday, though. Actually, so I would say don't cancel any plans and tune in on Friday, specifically hoping for Battletoads. But if you're lucky, there might be some then. Definitely there'll be some by next week, though. I really need to just need to put a night on the schedule that is a 100% Battletoads night, when I can show up like fully prepared, full of energy, and do like 5 hours worth of nothing but Battletoads runs. And that might be what we end up doing next week. On one night. I think that's gonna be the way to tackle it. I should be back tomorrow night. We starting up around 11 p.m. Central Time, as we usually do. Plan for tomorrow night is AO the Clown and Dark Souls. And then, yeah, like I said, Friday night should be a stream as well, but what we're going to do is up in the air for that. I'm going to send us over to Ellie's stream. Just Ellie will do. She's working her way through Breath of the Wild, I think for the first time. She's been playing it for a little while, and it looks like she's up to one of the Divine Beasts tonight. But her stream has a pretty laid back and comfy vibe as well. I think it would be a good place to head, given my somewhat tired state. So come along and check it out, if you would, my friends. And as we head out again, I'll just say one more time, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here. I hope I'll get to enjoy your company again very soon. Like I said, AO the Clown and Dark Souls tomorrow, and to be determined for Friday night, 11 p.m. Central Time for both streams, until question marks, depending on how long my energy holds up. More Battletoads and more Contra, definitely on the way. Look for them next week. Take care. Thank you, Angelus. Massive stream. Thank you, Chozo Brain. A massive, not really, kind of a shorter stream for what we do around here typically. But it is all the stream we have for tonight. It's time to head out, my friends. Let's go on an adventure.